Baja Designs is known worldwide as one of the best aftermarket automotive lighting companies in the world. They're known as the scientists of automotive lighting, and they create lights that are better and brighter than most other products out there. I really shouldn't have to tell you a whole lot about Baja Designs. Chances are, if you're watching this video, you already know about them and you're planning on putting them on your next project. But what you probably are having trouble with is understanding the different models, beam patterns, and why you would choose the Racer instead of the Sport and the Wide instead of the Scene beam patterns. So that's what we're going to talk about in this video. The Baja Designs Squadron is a multifaceted, customizable, multi-level LED off-road lighting product. This is called a pod light, and it has different applications based on how you want to use it. First, you have the Sport. This thing looks like the other ones, but it's not quite as powerful. This thing only draws 26 watts of power and only creates 3,150 lumens of light. Its specialty is near field and mid-field illumination. This light is not designed for super long range distance. This thing is going to illuminate everything in front of you about halfway down your field of vision. Now, if you want a little extra power with the same type of beam pattern, you would bump up to the Pro. Now, the Pro actually has more lumens than the Racer, but it's designed to focus on, again, near to mid-level viewing. So if you want a light that just illuminates right in front of the vehicle to a certain degree, you got two options. The Sport coming in at 3,150 lumens, or the Pro that comes in at 4,900 lumens. Roughly the same beam pattern and distance, just one's brighter than the other. Now, if you want to trade up for something that is more long distance, you move to the Racer. This thing is designed specifically for racing applications where you're driving so fast you need tons of light downrange. Ideally, what you would do is you would take the Sport or the Pro and pair it with the Racer so you have a full view of light from immediately in front of the vehicle all the way downrange, and then you swap out the Sport and the Pro depending on how much light you need immediately in front of you. So even though the Pro is technically brighter than the Racer, coming in at 4,900 lumens. The Racer comes in at 4,300 lumens. The Racer still puts the light farther in front of you. It's more of a spot long distance light. So if you had the Racer and the Pro together, you'd have the brightest illumination from immediately in front of your vehicle to as far down the range as possible. Now that you've decided which power level and distance you want, then you have to decide on the beam pattern. The Baja Designs Squadron offers 4 different beam patterns. The driving/combo beam pattern is probably the most popular option for automotive. This is when you're driving on a trail or on the street. This is probably going to be the one most people use. As you can see, the top is wide open and the bottom is fluted. That gives you a combo beam. 2 of the LEDs are diffused and the 2 on top are not. This style gives you maximum trail coverage in a single light. The driving combo beam is equipped with both driving and spot optics to provide you with a smooth blend of light for both near-field applications and long distance. The wide cornering lens is fluted on all 4 pieces of the optics. Baja Designs was the first to develop a pattern specifically for cornering, dust, and fog conditions. The wide driving pattern offers a 42-degree flattened horizontal beam for the ultimate in comfort lighting. The spot pattern utilizes the existing LED reflector optics that come in the Squadron and just gives it a protective cover. This is essentially having no modified optic, and you're just relying on the internal cone reflector to do its job. The spot beam pattern offers a longer and narrower 9-degree beam focus for illumination further down the trail or road. The spot pattern is designed to be used in conjunction with additional wide driving or combo beam lights. If you're going to use the Baja Designs Squadron for more of an industrial or construction type purpose where you need to light up a work scene, Baja does have another filter that's specifically more diffused than anything else to light up the most space immediately in front of you. Since this is for mostly automotive applications, I'll leave it out, but just know that it exists. But once you've decided which power level you want, the Sport, the Pro, or the Racer, and then you've decided which beam pattern you want, the combo, the cornering, or the spotlight, you also get to choose if you want white light or amber light. Generally speaking, the white light is good for clear conditions, and the amber light is good for inclement weather like fog, snow, mist, or rain. If you want to know more about different colors of lighting, go check out our video that specifically talks about Kelvin temperature rating of different automotive lighting upgrades. A lot of people will use the amber in racing applications where they're going to be seeing a lot of dust and debris, and a lot of people who use them on the street are going to use amber because they either like the style or they think it does really well in the fog on their commute. Either way, they're both fantastic upgrades. It just depends on what you're trying to accomplish. When trying to think about which light and which beam pattern you're going to use for each application, it's actually pretty simple. Now, the less power the lights make, the less money they cost. So if you're more of a budget conscious consumer, you might want to just stick with the Sport. It's still going to get the job done. It's still going to create a tremendous amount of light, but it's not going to break the bank. Now, if you just want the most light possible and you're not so concerned with high speed driving to get light at distance, the Pro is probably the best bet for most people. It offers you the most light in the smallest package for most applications. When you're thinking about the different beam patterns, you want to understand what you're using them for and what you hope the light does. For a fog light, it doesn't make sense to have a spotlight or a long distance because on most vehicles' fogs, they're pretty close to the ground and they're designed to illuminate the area right in front of you. So something like the Sport that's not super bright, that doesn't necessarily overpower your headlights, is going to be a really good option for your fog lights. Now on a slightly taller vehicle, or if you're going off-road more, the Pro with a little bit more power might be a better option for your fogs. And then when you think about the beam pattern, you don't want to do a spot beam for your fog lights. You're going to want to either do the wide cornering cover or the combo beam. Either one of these is going to be a pretty good option for fog lights. Now remember, in a lot of places, using this type of light in a fog light is not DOT compliant. So check with your local laws and don't be a dick. Swapping these covers on your Baja Squadron lights is really easy. There are 4 different Allen screws that hold the retaining bezel on, and then your lens falls off, and they actually have these clover-shaped O-rings. This goes inside between the lens and the light to make sure that you have a perfect seal. This is something that you're not going to find on a lot of LED off-road lights. If you buy a vehicle-specific kit like an A-pillar mount or a fog light mount or a roof mount or something like that, you're going to have extra components with wiring and brackets. But if you just buy the Squadron by themselves, you're going to get this. Inside the box, you got 2 lights, you got some brackets, some stickers, instructions, and wiring. The bracket kit comes with universal instructions to help you understand how to put it together. It's really simple, there's nothing to it, and anybody can do it. The wire harness, now this is something that you're not going to see with a lot of off-road LED lighting products. This has 2 separate wire harnesses specific to each of these, and these are OEM grade. There's really nothing more you could ask for a wire harness kit for a set of off-road pods. Baja Designs really did a great job on this hardware kit, and it's super easy to install on pretty much any application if you know how to do custom wiring. Here at Headlight Revolution, we do lighting better because we test. We test headlights and taillights and off-road lights. And if you want to learn more about automotive lighting, subscribe so you don't miss our next video.